Hello and welcome back. I got to level 3. I bought a tent in between episodes just in case if I need to use it. And I had a bruh moment about these heal potions for a second. If you don't know, healing potions are just like potions. And they costed 100 gil each. And I was like, ooh, that's a little steep in the prices. But now here's the first dungeon, the Temple of Chaos. Now I could just run immediately to the boss. I could. But I kind of want to go some treasure hunting. Chance to strike foolish. Ooh, it's a creep. These things are weird looking, as you can tell. Really weird looking gross creatures. 2 damage? I have 2 hits and 1 damage each? Whoo, lad. Okay, that's much better. Because Beth has been doing because Beth can do 2 hits regularly, does a lot of damage with that whip. It's kind of insane. Really insane, actually. So Beth has some big DPS opportunity, while everyone else can kind of lag a little bit behind compared. But I'm sure Blue, because that's a big thing the Manall himself said, and I quote, brought down the fighter to mere mortal status, which offends my sensibilities deeply, because I love how overpowered the fighter is. I love hitting things. So the fighter being nerfed really grinds my gears, sarcastically. Ultimately, it probably creates a more balanced experience, because already I really like this rebalancing going on right now. If you haven't played the original NES Final Fantasy, it's just like this feels like a nice rebalance, particularly just because of flow of combat. The flow of combat feels smooth. It's interesting. Whoa, 2 hits? That's sus. That's mighty sus there, El Capitano. Yeah, the flow of combat I really enjoy. It creates a more modern feel, but like I said, there's also the other half of I enjoy the original. But yeah, I need to also make a note about this hack, is this hack follows the same structure of the original Final Fantasy. So it's not like a complete overworld rehash with overhaul with different dungeons. See, yep. Here's the thing I don't like about the original NES Final Fantasy is you see I open that treasure chest, and you see the treasure chest sprite hasn't changed. Yeah, that's a little So let's armor, trade the cap with Nick, because I feel Nick could use the extra defense, being a thief that has a 25% chance of getting hit. So I feel like the thief being given the cap is a smart idea for that extra defense. I could be wrong, maybe it could have been given to Blue, but Bones. Okay, now for some other new enemy, Bones. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, Bones aren't very strong. Oh, whew, 42 damage this early in the game is a good amount of damage. But if I remember correctly, Bones look more threatening than they actually are. Okay, they're actually doing a lot of damage. Maybe they just have low defense. Yeah, they have really low HP and low defense, I guess. But it looks like their attack is pretty high, unless they're getting just really lucky, and we're just getting really unlucky. Hard to tell. Maybe if this guy whacks us on the head, we'll be able to figure it out. Okay, it also has more than 10 HP. That's funny, I have this 7 damage. Okay, okay. This game, since I'm used to the original Final Fantasy, this game has me trained to try to parse out the individual HPs of enemies, because I don't want to get an ineffective. It's really hard to describe if you haven't played it, the ineffective stuff. Ooh, 2. A healing potion. Nice, nice. And a cabin. Ooh, we found a whole cabin in here. Hell yeah. Just building a log cabin. We just found a whole log cabin in a treasure chest. Now, I believe the other 2 corners treasure chests are locked until you get the magic key. So I don't want to just waste time and HP. Now we're fighting a Spoder. I like Spoders, okay? It reminds me of this video I saw online recently on Boomerbook. Because like I said, on my breaks at work, I go on Boomerbook. There's this lady who had this little jumping spider as a pet. And it was the cutest little thing I ever did see. Because I love little jumping spiders. That's like something I should articulate. Little jumping spiders are furry little good creatures that I enjoy. Because when it comes to spiders, I like small furry ones. Big furry ones like tarantulas weird me out because they're big and spindly. But they have their own charm. But when it comes to like chitinous spiders, they freak me out because they're weird, especially if they have thick bodies. Because the daddy long-leg spiders that are common all across America aren't that bad. They're not as creepy because their bodies are really tiny and they're kind of cute in their own way. Okay, now here's... Okay. Final Fantasy, the first Final Fantasy, doesn't have very many memes. But I'll give you one of them right now. No one touches my princess. Light warriors, you impertinent fools. I, Garland, will knock you all down. That he'll never live down that line. Now we have Garland, the first boss of the game and the most powerful knight in the Kingdom of Corneria. Let's kick his ass! Let's just absolutely kick this guy's ass. Just monumentally. Kick his teeth in. Let's do some extra damage with haste. Let's just buff ourselves up. You know, let's just get ready. Just going in there. Come on. Okay, big deeps. 14, not bad. I'm curious about how much damage he's gonna do. 4 to blue, that ain't bad. When I say that ain't bad, I mean that ain't bad for us. In reality, it's kind of pathetic. So, let's see, he's kind of boned, isn't he? I have a feeling he's kind of boned. Although, Bert keeps hitting 1s. 1's better than none. That's some solid deeps. It's like this mantra, 4 damage. Oh yeah, 2 times 2 is 4. 1 damage per, of course. There's this whole thing, if I played a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, and I main Dragoon, and if you don't know, Dragoons are kind of notorious for dying. I'm sure that kind of died out because Dragoons' animation locks in modern Final Fantasy XIV is significantly less strict than it was back in the olden days. Like, the original jump, oh my god, you were locked into that shit. But now they sped it up and everything, so I really like it. But back in the olden days, it was Dragoons die is like, oh, the Dragoons tank in the floor like they always do. So I always had this inferiority complex where I always wanted to do really good. So I went along with the philosophy of being dead is 0 DPS. And I still have that. So that's why even now, I'd say the one thing I'm slightly whoa! Okay, now that's an intense amount of damage. One thing I'd say I'm slightly above average at is dodging mechanics, because I have a really funny story. I was fighting Engels in the copied factory, which is the first near raid in Final Fantasy XIV. And Engels at this attack will smack its arms down right in the center of the arena. Me, I got right out of the AoE, just barely out of it, because if I went any further, I was out of melee range. So, if I'm out of melee range, that's 0 DPS. So I got barely out, and some mage got really uncomfortable by how close I was to the range, so he used rescue to pull me out like I was going to get hit when I wasn't. So I thought that was kind of fun. I didn't get mad, because ultimately it's just like, oh, you're doing your best to make sure I don't die, but I know what I'm doing, thank you very much. Garland got knocked down himself. 50 experience and 250 gil. Not bad, not bad. Now we rescue the princess. Okay, let's talk. Kiki! Bats. I like bats. So you are the Light Warriors, thank you. And we actually, I think the only time in this entire game, you'll get teleported out of a dungeon. So don't get used to them, as I say. Thank you for saving the princess. To aid you on your quest, a bridge to the continent has been finished early. Go now, make the orbs shine again. I think they were called orbs in the original, because if you notice, it's all caps. Because the original NES Final Fantasy, if you don't know how a lot of these games programming works, if it's a word that they're going to use a lot, they will hard code it into the game so the game will parse through and pull the word orbs from its coding that's going to be used a lot. And it's 4 characters long, because if you notice, items and spells and all this other stuff are 4 characters long, so it names. So it's my ongoing theory why they're called orbs in this game instead of crystals. And let's not forget to talk to the princess, because you get the loot! For 2,000 years, Garland stole it when he kidnapped me, but please accept it as my gift. The loot's gonna come in useful eventually. I don't remember what, but I always remember to talk to her to get the loot. Oh, I gotta show you guys something. Okay. Oh, wow, they actually fixed this right. In the original? Okay, in the original, her right here, she'd be completely invisible. So you are the Light Warriors, no useful information, but I remember for some reason the original NES version, they just didn't, there's a glitch, because of course, the first Final Fantasy and its glitches. They did not take the time to heal me. The loot. Beautiful music fills the air. Yeah, boy, we're going to be playing the flute in the middle of the castle. The lute in the middle of the castle. So, let's go to the inn. Go to the inn. I'll have to save when originally it said inn in the original version, but let's get some heals. 498 gil is actually a pretty decent amount. Is there... Because... Right, let's look at black magic again. Except for Beth. Fire, lightning can't use sleep, and haste. Actually, I think sleep is actually pretty good, so we'll use sleep. Because ultimately, we have a white mage, so having white magic being used for a green mage ultimately isn't fog and ruse. I'm not going to get fog and ruse yet, but one thing I'm going to do is we're going to get the boat soon, and the boat can return me here really quickly. So, ultimately, if I will come back here. So, in my return trip here, I will just get fog or ruse on whatever mage that I want, you know? So I'll put that on the back burner for now, and I will return. Because ultimately, I'm not as knowledgeable about this game as I should be. Because it's been a while, and spell names in the NES version are obviously different than the spell names that are nowadays in the modern game, because 4 character limit. Which, to be fair, Manall in his infinite wisdom bumped it up to 5 characters, but the first character is taken up by a symbol to denote what kind of spell it is, which is really cool. It gives me immediate visual feedback of what I'm getting into with the spell, and I really like that. So I know ultimately I was being sarcastic with Manall's infinite wisdom, but there is infinite wisdom actually at play. I'm just being a little sarcastic. And that's the thing, I say that, and it's like, is Manall ever going to watch this playthrough? Probably not. Because ultimately, it's like, I don't like thinking people are narcissistic enough to watch Let's Plays of their own video game, or their own ROM hack or video game, but you never know. And I say narcissistic enough, and that's just me being a dick. Because I know if I probably created something, I'm not saying that as a way that I wouldn't be, because if I ever created something, I would be interested to see other people's experience with it in my own, so that's my own narcissistic shit. So it's ultimately, I guess, me projecting, ultimately. This is just projection at this point, you know. But yeah, that's, I'm just being silly, I guess. Being a silly Billy, I guess, you know how it goes. Yeah, one thing with this game is get used to this screen right here, and this battle theme. The NES Final Fantasy has only one battle theme, and it's this song. No boss theme, no final boss theme, just this song. I like it, though. It's actually generally a really good composition. I never get really tired of this one. So, yeah. Ultimately, I don't have much issue with it, but if you don't like it, then I don't blame you, because it is kind of droning if you're not used to it. Here's one of the best scenes in the game. And so their journey began. What awaits the four, they do not know. Each holding an orb that 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey. Return the light of peace to our world. Programmed by Nasir, this is actual regular credits of the original NES Final Fantasy. Character designed by Yoshitaka Amano, which I was talking about last episode. He has one of my favorite art styles ever. There's scenario by Kenji Tarada, I don't particularly know. And production of Square A-Team. The A-Team was brought to this one. But now, the actual game begins. I wonder, can I see the map? What? What? I'm just going to not touch that. Try to remember how to get to the map. How do I open up the map? There we go. This is the map, the whole map. As you can see, we are right there in that flashing cross. This is what the whole world, that's all this is going to be open to us in the future, dear viewers. So let's go. Oh, one feature that Manall added, roads. You cannot encounter enemies on roads like Zelda 2. I think that's really cool, honestly. Now, ultimately, I have a small itinerary at play. 26 damage. Bert, you're coming in strong. Coming in hard with that stick. Just giving a good whack. Oof. As usual, my foot is numb, so I'm going to readjust a little bit, dear viewer. Disregard any shuffling you may hear as I play. There we go. Much better. Much more comfortable. And, yeah. I have a few I have a nice small itinerary. I love itinerary. It's something that's become a normal phrase with me. Even though this is a more controlled experience than what I've done in the past. I want to go to Matoya's cave. Because if I remember correctly, there is a treasure chest there. I think. Plus extra fights along the way to give us experience, so I don't have to grind as much because, whoa, creep. Don't be a creep. So ultimately, extra experience is good because we're going to be going into a big fight later, and the biggest thing is I don't have any direct offensive magic because I don't have a black mage in my party. I was sacrificing the use of a black mage for a green mage for a new and interesting experience. Now, ultimately, the green mage is going to have a lot of utility in pretty much anything. Like, green mage will specialize. If you don't know what the green magic is, of course you wouldn't know unless you played this ROM hack specifically. Green magic is magic that specializes in status ailments of positive or negative status ailments. So, gotta remember where Matoya's cave is. I'll figure it out where her cave is. You have no idea. Since I talked about Final Fantasy XIV earlier, there's a character in Final Fantasy XIV named Matoya, and you go to her cave, and it has the same music as the NES Matoya's cave, and you have no idea how much I lost my shit. Just because it's interesting. Final Fantasy is one of those series that I feel like tries to teeter on innovation for its own series while also harking back to nostalgia. And ultimately, I don't like harking back things that hark back to nostalgia that much because it's kind of frustrating because I want there to be new stuff for people to feel nostalgic about in the future, as opposed to harking back to what I'm nostalgic about specifically. If you catch my drift, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was, oh boy. Pow right in the kisser, I guess. Holy shit, dude. Cure's already starting to suck. Guess I'll use heal potions even though they're expensive. Okay, I don't think Matoya's cave's that way. If it is, fuck it. Going to the next town. Just imps. Okay, we can deal with these little guys. See, even Bert can smack one in the face with a stick and it'll be fine. Oh boy, that shaman really kicked our ass and made us flee. That's another thing about this game, this really old game. Pick your battles. I think that should be said. Because when it comes to like old style RPGs that are built around their combat system, you have to pick your battles. Like a game series that is really good with this is the Shin Megami Tensei games, where there's multiple ways to go about different conflicts. And there have been times where I've just avoided conflict because I was like, yeah, I can't deal with this shit right now. What are you talking about? Is that Matoya's cave? 4 mad ponies, let's go! Let's rock their shit! Actually, let's cast some sleep. Ineffective. Come on. Gimme. There, I think that one hit. Yep, there we go. Fell asleep. Yeah. And come on. Spell's taking forever to go off. My god. Fell asleep. Awesome. Awesome. So I thought I'd cast sleep. Ineffective. Okay, so we have 2 that are asleep. So that will reduce the amount of damage we take, at least for a little bit. In NES Final Fantasy as well, if an enemy is asleep, you can bash them across the face and stab them in the throat, and they won't wake up. They'll wake up when they wake up. Only when God ordains them to wake up is when they will wake up. So, beat the shit out of them all you want. Right now, I'm prioritizing targets that are awake, that are conscious. Sleeping. See? Yeah. Oh god, this reminds me, speaking of RPG status ailments. Ooh. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Ooh, boy. Wizardry 6 on DOS. First of all, Wizardry 6 is an awesome game. Wizardry 6 has a magic spell, I forget what it's called, but if you hit your enemies with it, it makes them sick. So when it goes their turn, instead of attacking, they'll just start vomiting. Oh, no, that's no es bueno. Oh, tank in the floor there, Beth. Oh, God. Let's run. Oh, no. That's no es bueno. Oh, God. Okay, Thief, do your job. There we go. NES Final Fantasy also has no Phoenix Downs. What's here? Item shop and save? This is new. This is, well, you might think that there's something to it, but in fact, it's just an ordinary, don't be smug. I mean, shit. Oh, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got in the shop. Heal intent. Alright, whatever. See, the thing is also, I'll show you, 10 gold to heal, 10 guilt, nice. I'll show you, just, Beth is still knocked the fuck out. Dead! Not KO'd, but dead! Oh my god! She's dead! Been violently killed by a horse. Okay, here's a thing that I get kind of insane. I hate it when party members level up separately when they start leveling up the same. So this is going to be a lot of fleeing. Let's see, what we got going on here? Where is the... I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Fuck. I'm trying to remember how did I open up the map? Because sworn is these two buttons. I'm trying to open up the map. Okay, whatever. Try doing that instead. There we go. Figured it out. Okay, I'm getting close. Getting close to my destination. There it is. There's the destination. Praise Thor, the Thunder God. Okay, here's our next action. Okay, let's talk to people. Help. I mean, I need help too. Gosh. Okay, let's get some heals. We need to talk to the priest. 80 gold. Oh, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I'm stingy, guys. 1 HP too. God fucking shit. What do you gotta say? This town has been invaded by pirates. Yep, this is what I meant the next major conflict we're gonna be dealing with is pirates. And they got a ship. 50 gil. Come on, game. You're killing me with your money here. Killing me with money. But one thing, first things first. You see there's a green symbol right there. Green symbol. Let's go. Beth, let's go, Beth. Ice, dark, bio, and poison. Ooh. Poison. I don't have enough money. We got white magic going on for Bert here. Ooh, regen 2 was really good, and I can do that with friggin' Beth. Beth can use regen as well. Because I remember looking at regen isn't considered direct healing, so I can use regen with Beth. There's mute, which is also pretty good. Fire shield, which is pretty nice, and invisible. Just okay. Do I really want to fight Argmi Métis pirates right here? Do we really want to do that? Do we really want to do that at our current capabilities with next level 204 experience? My god. Leveling up. I'm stingy. I mean, we have sleep. Sleep is powerful. But this episode, we also defeated Garland, which is also progress. What we got in weapons? That's a good idea. Weapons and armor. Let's see what we got going on here. A short sword for 500. Ooh, and an iron helmet for 100. Ooh, it's all good. I'm not an iron helmet. That's iron something. What do we got here? Iron armor for 1,000. Oh my gourd. Gloves for 60. Wooden shield. Let's get the wood shield. Give it to blue. There we go. At least something. I wanted to get something on the shopping trip. There we go. Wooden shield. Increase the defense. Survivability. Alright. So I guess I'll just do some combat for the next few minutes while I talk about stuff. Then in between episodes, I'll grind up some cash money. Iguana. Ooh, I haven't fought one of these yet. I like the green. I don't think iguanas are originally green. I think all the enemies actually have color palette swaps, which I think is really cool. Ooh, iguana's got some defense on ya. Some big defense. Ooh, 7 to blue with the shield and being a fighter. That's actually a decent amount of damage, all things considered. If the iguana were to hit Beth or Bert, that could be catastrophic. At least I think so. Beth or Bert just can't do damage to it to save their lives, though. You know, we only get to attack, like, once a turn. Why is, like, the iguana get, like, more attacks than us, you know? Why is that? Can someone explain that to me? Can someone explain that? Ultimately, let's hope this iguana is worth some good money. So right now, we need money more than experience. I think, at least. I really want to get poison, though. Does poison hit all enemies? If poison hits all enemies, ooh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be real good if poison hits all enemies, you know? I really want to see if that is the case. Is it dead yet? Are you dead yet? It's like friggin' Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I'm not dead! I'm not dead! You know, that gag in that movie? And they bonk him on the head. And there you go, take the corpse away. Or it's like, friggin' these prank callers from a long time ago, the Jerky Boys. They call a crematorium. Prank call is crematorium. And the guy with this heavy Italian accent thing does, he's like, yes, got my grandma here. She's almost dead. She's not dead yet. Can you just take her out back and melt her down or whatever it is you do? It's so funny. Oh my god. She's not dead yet though. Can we just take care of things behind the building? It's so stupid. Jerky Boys are genuinely really funny. As far as prank calls can be kind of tacky, but that was back in ye olden days when things were funny. Before prank calls would put you in prison. It's actually considered criminal harassment now, which is really dumb because if you're not... Ultimately, if you call someone and ask if the refrigerator's running, that's pretty harmless. Like, I don't particularly understand how it's just heavily criminalized. I mean, ultimately, it's just a misdemeanor. But to me, that's still kind of insane because it's just a prank call, bro. It's just a prank, bro. Ultimately, there is a level of, like, awfulness to pranks, but prank calls are as harmless as pranks can get. Oh my god, this iguana. Jesus Christ. Jesus himself just rolls down from the Swiss Alps, where they have Swiss cheese. The Swiss Alps are the Alps with holes in it, like Swiss cheese. He just rolls his way down like a cheese wheel. Jesus himself. This iguana, my god. Just die already. I want to end your life. You're probably suffering. We got you like gashed and full of wounds. You're probably bleeding out. Oh god, that reminds me of a story at work. Sometimes at work we get rats every once in a while. We're not a food service place, so a rat isn't like, oh boy, it's your rat, but it's really annoying. And my boss left rat poison around. It was years ago, so she left rat poison around, and this rat ate some of it, and it was like walking around like a drugged up zombie, like a meth zombie. And I saw it, so I flicked it off the desk with a broom and just beat it to death with a broom. But ultimately, after the first 2 whacks, I realized it was still alive. So I was like screaming, like, just die already, I want you to die. Because the whole thing is like, I didn't want it to suffer, but it was because it was dying from rat poison already. So ultimately, I was doing it a favor and doing everyone a favor by just killing it. Eventually, I did. You better be worth... Okay, you're worth cash money and experience. Let's get in one more fight in this episode. One more fight in. But yeah, ultimately, I feel like I was doing the right thing putting him out of his misery. Getting whacked to death over the course of like 10 seconds is better than dying slowly over the course of 2 hours. So ultimately, I feel like I'm morally in the correct. But it's still kind of awful. It's like my poor boss, though, back then, she got, like, glue traps, and she thought, oh, we can stick it in the glue, and we can just, just take it out and release it later. And it's like, that's not how glue traps work. And she did not, consult any of us about it. So if she would have talked to us about it, I'd say, no, glue traps are really inhumane and fucked up. I do not recommend them. Let's haste. Let's get some haste on there. Let's speed things out a little. Haste. Double the hits for double the damage. Yeah, glue traps are really fucked up. So it was all covered in glue, and it eventually died. And what my boss did, she tried to remove it from the glue, wash it in water, and try to release it, but it, the rat died. Ultimately, like, oh god, I remember another story. Like, this customer made me, like, I shit you not, he made me friggin' remove. Ultimately, he didn't make me, but when I was like, okay, I'll do it, he had in his truck a dead bird stuck in his grill. So I put on some gloves and I just picked the dead bird off. I was not happy about that one. Oh my god, everything's taking forever to kill. This is insane. This is madness. At least 4 hits at decent amount of damage. I was doing math in my head there. Oh no. Beth and Bert are getting kind of low on the HPs. Hopefully one of these mad ponies are going to die. Soon. Eventually. Maybe. Because Beth and Bert, there's like a significantly lower chance of them dying. Excuse me, but what? Excuse me, but what? Oh, drink. There we go. Let's get your drink on. Get your sip on. There we go. I was like, item. I was like, oh, item. Because if you don't know about the first Final Fantasy, there's like your equipment. Some equipment will have spells attached to them. Like, I believe there's like, so if you have like a piece of armor that has a spell attached to it, you can use it and it'll cast that spell forever, for free, every time you use it. So ultimately, that's really cool. So I have a feeling I might be utilizing that in the future in this playthrough, because obviously I'm already starting to feel the slightly more difficult that this ROM hack provides us. So I'm starting to feel it a little bit. God, if you don't like slow RPG combat, you're probably not having a fun time watching this. You're just like, this whole playthrough is going to be a whole lot of this. It's going to be a whole lot of this. You know, because the thing about the first Final Fantasy, you look at it, and if it looks slow and boring to you, then you're probably right. So you're not gonna like. If you look at it and I don't like it just by looking at it right now, you're not gonna like it. But anyway, that ends today's episode. I'll see you all guys next time, same place. Adios.